Hello everyone, my name is Chip, and today we're taking Leyline of the Cat Spirit deck that they took to a 5-0 finish in Modern League out for a test run. Gonna try and see if we can get our own 5-0 with it. Now, this deck is just full of the hotness. Running cards that I would traditionally never run together, Aether Vial and Collected Company. But in this deck it makes sense. You want to be able to spam out your spirits as quickly as possible. That's where Aether Vial comes in handy, but you also want to be able to dig in and cast more, so Collected Company makes sense. We are also running, which I think is the largest sin, some non-spirit creatures in a spirit deck. So if you're running tribal, run tribal, but hey, this seems to work. So for the non-spirits, we've got Noble Hierarch, Deputy of Detention, Phantasmal Image, and Unsettled Mariner. Now, those last two can become spirits, and Unsettled Mariner is every creature type, because it is a changeling. Phantasmal Image is the 5th copy of any of our Lord effects, any card that we desperately need. It can even copy the Deputy of Detention. And then apart from that, we're just running a really strong spirit package. So spirits are a very synergistic tribe. They naturally evade because they have flying, and they have some of the greatest lords ever. So Supreme Phantom, a 2-mana lord, other spirits you control get +1/+1. It's a 1/3, so with any other lord on the board, it gets itself out of bolt range, and it has flying. Drogskol Captain, other spirit creatures you control get +1/+1 and have hexproof. So we can vial this in or Coco into it and potentially save another one of our spirits from targeted removal, and it buffs our whole board as well, which is pretty great. Now, one of our only spirits that doesn't have flying is Geist of St. Traft. Geist of St. Traft can finish a game all on its own, especially in a deck running Noble Hierarchs with the Exalted trigger. So when Geist of St. Traft attacks, you create a 4/4 white angel token that's tapped and attacking, and we exile it at the end of the combat. So even though we're only swinging with a 2/2, we're also swinging in the air for 4. It's very hard to deal with because it has hexproof. Now with Exalted, that only gets better because the Exalted trigger goes on the stack. Geist of St. Traft can become a 3/3, 4/4, 5/5 while swinging with an additional flying 4/4. So it's incredibly difficult to deal with. They actually need to make us sack it normally, or they need to block it, which if we've got Exalted makes that even harder. It also gets buffed by all our other Spirit Lords, so it's very good. I'm glad to see that it's a one of. It is a legendary for good reason, but it is a very powerful effect. I'm glad to see that there's one of it in this library. Sideboard, pretty great. We've got things like Eidolon of Rhetoric, which helps deal with your prowess decks that want to blurst out a bunch of spells all at once. It also plays very well with Kiara, Great Glass Spinner. Creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes the spell of a target or ability for the first time each turn, counter that spell or ability. So with Eidolon of the Great Rhetoric, it basically means that no spells, unless they're uncounterable, are going to be destroying our stuff because they can only cast one per turn and it's going to get countered. Apart from that, we just got some value counter spells like Force of Negation, Lofty Denial, Ceremonious Rejection to help us in certain matchups. Rest in Peace for Graveyard Hate. Night of Autumn for more artifact enchantment removal. It's also a good beater on its own and it can gain us some life. Damping Sphere in case we come up against Tron or matchups that want to cast a lot of spells. And Core Firewalker, another piece of prowess hate, really. Protection from red, and whenever a player casts a red spell, you may gain 1 life. It's very hard for them to deal with. They have to spend one of their non-red spells to remove it, but you're gaining life for every red spell they're casting. So even though they're prowessing up their board, you're still gaining life. It can keep you around long enough to get in with your flying threats. So it looks like a really solid deck. It's made the 5-0 before. Let's hope we can repeat that. And before we go to the games, I just want to say if you like these videos, be sure to leave a like. If you've got any questions about decks or decks you want to see, be sure to leave a comment. And if you really, really like these videos, maybe show them to a friend. All right, and with that, let's get on with the games. All right, we lose the die roll and our opponent gets to go first. They reveal a Loris of the Dream Den. Okay, so I'm guessing this is prowess. Look, this is an okay hand. Yeah, I think we'll keep. Doesn't lean too heavily into the vial, so that's good. Okay, opponent plays a mountain, runs out the Goblin Guide. Okay, might just be straight up burn then. Swings in for 2. We get a land off it. That's great. All right, we take it down to 18. They pass the turn. They know about the forest. All right. Well, we're just going to lead on plains in Aether Vial. This might make him think we're mono-white taxes. All right, they go Sunbaked Canyon into a Monastery Swift Spear. Okay. Into another Monastery Swift Spear. Deputy of Detention just got a lot better. All right, they swing in for 4. Supreme Phantom revealed. All right, the jig is up. They know we're spirits. All right, well, we'll put a counter on our Aether Vial. I think we're just going to lead on Unsettled Mariner. Makes any spells they throw at our face cost more. Also protects itself with that ability as well. They play an Inspiring Vantage. They go to combat. Okay, Goblin Guide. Does it reveal another land? Noble Hierarch, eh? I think we are going to block. Try and see if we can force some action now. Blocking the Goblin Guide in case it does destroy something. Deputy of Detention can take out the 2 Monastery Swiftspears. All right, Boros Charm, 4 damage to our face. They have to pay an extra 1 or else it's countered. They pay the extra 1. Okay, we still trade with the Goblin Guide. All right, that felt pretty good actually. We are down to 6 though, which is 2 burn spell range. All right, our turn. Yes, we will tick up the Aether Vial, get our Noble Hierarch, play the Forest, and we're just going to run out this Deputy of Detention. Gobble up those Monastery Swiftspears. We'll pass it like that. And if they can kill the Deputy of Detention, maybe we can surprise block with a Spirit off the Aether Vial. All right, they crack the Sunbait Canyon. They're digging. They play another Sunbait Canyon. Rift Bolt to the Exile Zone. Okay, so potentially we are dead next turn. Aether Vial, use its ability. We're going to put in the Rattle Chains. All right, pass to our turn. Yes, we are going to put a counter on our Aether Vial. Geist of St. Traft, hey? Okay, hopefully that can get us back in the game. Well, let's run out Noble Hierarch, Supreme Phantom, put down the Horizon Canopy. We're just going to crack that later, I think. And we'll just swing with the Rattle Chains. Exalted goes off, so we're swinging in for 4. And we just have to hope we can fade a burn spell for a turn or 2. But given we're playing an opponent who has maybe 60% of their deck as burn spells, doesn't look promising. All right, they take 4 down to 14. Pass. Rift Bolt comes off suspend. Targets our face. Fair enough. So they've probably got another burn spell then. Searing Blaze for the win. That's pretty good. There it is. All right, sideboarding. Night of Autumn in. I think we'll go Kiara in, Eidolon of the Great Rhetoric in, and Core Firewalkers in. What do we want to go down? What do we want to go down? That's a bloody good question. I think we might actually be trimming some Spell Quellers here, actually. Okay, so what if we go down 2 Spell Quellers, Rattle Chains, 2 Mausoleum Wanderers, and a Noble Hierarch? Yeah, that feels pretty good. All right, run it back like that. Yes, I would like to play first. All right. Yep, they reveal the Loris again. This hand is all right. We're going to keep. Lead on Botanical Sanctum. Run out the Mausoleum Wanderer. Pass to them. All right, they lead on the Goblin Guide. Strong play. Swing in for 1. We peel land off the top. All right, that's pretty good. We take it down to 18, and they pass the turn. Deputy of Detention. That's very good. So we want white mana, don't we? All right, well, we'll go Flooded Strand. Crack it. We're going to get our Plains, and we will run out the Unsettled Mariner. Counts as a spirit for our Mausoleum Wanderer, and I think we're just going to get in. Taken down to 16. Alrighty. They play an Inspiring Vantage. They swing in for 2. We're just going to take it. Aether Vial on top, eh? It's not bad. Ooh, they cast Lightning Bolt on the Unsettled Mariner. Okay. Do they pay the 1? They pay the 1, so then we're going to sacrifice our Mausoleum Wanderer to counter that. We draw the Aether Vial. Let's go Misty Rainforest. Sack it. We're just going to get... Is it an island here? Yeah, I think it's an island. We'll play out a Selfless Spirit that helps protect the Unsettled Mariner and an Aether Vial. And then next turn we'll put down the Drogstore Captain. And then we can start getting in. Alright, they run out of Monastery Swiftspear. They're getting in. Night of Autumn off the top. Okay, well, no blocks from us then, because we can just gain life with this Night of Autumn. Yeah, our creatures get much harder to deal with next turn when we put down the Drogstore Captain. Alright, no blocks. Alright, we take it down to 11. Put a counter on our Aether Vial. I'm going to play Waterlog Grove. Slam down our Drogstore Captain. Path targeting the Unsettled Mariner. They're going to pay the 1? Yep, they crack the Arid Mesa. Looks like they're going to pay the 1. They get themselves a mountain, and they pay the 1. Yes, we'll use Path to Exile's ability, get our Forest. Drogstore Captain comes down. No attacks from us, and we'll just pass the turn there. Alright, opponent casts a Lava Spike. Prowess trigger goes off. Monastery Swiftspear powers up. Take 3 to the face. Yep, they swing in with both. Core Firewalker on top. Alright, it's going to be tough to play given we only have 1 white source. Suppose we can Violet in. Alright, blocking. Go in front of both of these. Force some action from our opponent. Nothing, hey? Both boards eat each other. That's fine by me. Alright, counter goes on the Aether Vial. Going to draw a card first, see if we hit something better. Alright, another land. That's fine. Run it out. We're going to activate the Aether Vial. Put the Core Firewalker into play first, and then we're going to run out the Night of Autumn. This way, if they Skull Crack, we still gain the life off the Core Firewalker. Yep. Alright, so Night of Autumn enters just as a big beefy boy. Alright, we'll pass it back like that. Alright, opponent does nothing and passes to us. Well, we're going to tick up our Aether Vial. Maybe they're waiting for another Skull Crack. Well, we'll get in with both. Opponent takes it down to 9, and we'll just pass the turn there. Alright, Boros Charm. We go up to 7, we go down to 3. So if they have 2 burn spells, we're dead. So Lightning Bolt, we go down to 1. Goblin Guide, okay. We'll gain life then. They swing in with the Goblin Guide. We get a land off the top. Activate our Vial. Put our Deputy of Detention into play. Alright, Goblin Guide off the table. They pass to us. Okay, that seems good. So what's their last card in hand? That's a worry. We're going to keep the Aether Vial on 3. Draw a Rattle Chains. Not exactly what I had in mind to help us win the game, but that's okay. Alright, well, we're going to just swing in for 5. Play the Temple Garden tap and pass it back to our opponent. Hopefully they don't have a 3 damage burn spell. All right, they play a mountain. Searing Blaze. Yep, that's going to do it, I'm afraid. There it is. They win the match. Lose the die roll again. Okay, the curse of going second carries through. This hand, while having a lot of lands, it's very slow. We'll mulligan. Really starting to regret mulliganing now. Mulligan again. All right, well, we're going to keep this one. Aether Vial, Noble Hierarch to the bottom. Opponent leads on a Black Cleave Cliffs into the Inquisition. Sure thing. Yep, the Taken Mausoleum Wanderer. They pass to us. Selfless Spirit, eh? Well, we'll play the Cavern of Souls, Naming Spirit. We'll run out the Aether Vial. We'll pass it there. This means we can empty our hand next turn. Thoughtseize. Okay. Or our opponent could empty our hand for us, I suppose. They play the Bloodstained Mire, and they pass it there. All right. Well, we'll put the counter on the Aether Vial. Noble Hierarch, eh? Well, that's okay, given we got the Vial on one. We'll run out the Selfless Spirit. We'll pass it there. Yep, they crack the Bloodstained Mire, get a Stomping Ground tap, and then they untap. Play a Raging Ravine. All right. And they go to their end step. Well, we'll activate the Aether Vial, put the Noble Hierarch into play, and pass to us. We will put a counter on our Aether Vial. Misty Rainforest, hey? All right, we go to combat, and we'll swing in with the Selfless Spirit. They bolt the Selfless Spirit. Sure thing. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Blood Crypt tapped. Yep, passes there. I'm sensing a Kolaghan's Command in our future. Tick up the Aether Vial. Path to exile, hey? Well, we'll swing for one. Opponent takes it down to 16. Pass the turn there. Opponent plays a Swamp. And now they're activating the Raging Ravine. Okay, so do they just not have any threats and have just got all removal? They're swinging with the Raging Ravine. Well, we're going to crack the Misty Rainforest. We'll get a Temple Garden untapped. And we'll just path the Raging Ravine. Opponent gets a forest and passes to us. All right, well, we're going to keep this Aether Vial on 3. Phantasmal Image, that's terrible. We'll swing in. Opponent takes it down to 15. We're going to hold on to this Phantasmal Image. Maybe we can get a good threat later on. Inquisition. All right, should have played out the Phantasmal Image. All right, they pass to us. Aether Vial stays on 3. Drogskull Captain, eh? That's not a bad one. Swinging for 1 with the Noble Hierarch. Opponent takes it down to 14. We'll pass the turn. Opponent does nothing, hey? Well, we'll keep the Drogskull Captain in hand because we've got 3 mana. Another Noble Hierarch, eh? Well, we're going to run out the Noble Hierarch. Now we can start getting in for 2. Woot! 7 turn clock. Swing in with the Noble Hierarch. Double Exalted. Yep, and they Fatal Push the Noble Hierarch. Pass the turn there. Opponent plays a Nurturing Peatland, cracks it immediately to draw a card. Once they draw a big threat, we're pretty done. Klothys, that's a nasty threat. Certainly gives some inevitability to the game. All right, well, they're passing the turn there, and Klothys doesn't affect the board yet. Another land, yay! Suppose we should have vialed in this Drogskull Captain to start attacking, but they've just got removal for it. I want to draw something that we can at least protect with it. All right, we hit them down to 13, pass the turn. But now they've got this Klothys. Ugh, they're going to be undoing all the damage that we could be doing with this Drogskull Captain. Yep, they eat a creature. 15 all. Into a Bloodbraid Elf. Gross. Into a Liliana. Oh no. Oh no. They tick up the Liliana. All right. Drogskull Captain coming down. And they've got the bolt for the Drogskull Captain. Okay. They swing in for 3. Take it down to 12. We're going to crack the Windswept Heath for a Hallowed Fountain. Tap. Come on, Collected Company. We need to draw a Collected Company. That is not a Collected Company. Might as well play it. They've got the Liliana. Well, we'll attack Liliana. Just keep it in check. And we pass it there. Yep, they eat another spirit. Take us down to 9. They're all the way back up to 17. Ticking up the Liliana again. Nope, ticking down, making us sack the Noble Hierarch. Don't even get to keep our Noble Hierarch. They're swinging in for 3. Well, they're pretty in control of the game. They can do whatever they want with their Liliana. Scavenging Ooze as well. They pass to us. Suppose we should be thankful. Collected Company, please? Nope, and they get us. All right. This deck really does not do well against Jund. Hi guys, we actually versed Jund 3 times in this league, and every single game was pretty much identical to the first. So here's a quick montage of what happened. Yep, they activate the Skoos, and that's a concede from us. Gross. No, that's not it. All right, that's the game. Damn. Yeah, don't get into a top deck war with Jund. I'm just going to concede this one. This deck really struggles to beat Jund, apparently. All right, good game. It's all right. Concede there. This deck really does not do well against Jund. Oh, we're mulliganing again. No lander. Mulligan. This hand is better. We're going to keep this one. Put Selfless Spirit to the bottom, actually, because if we draw one more land, we could collect a company. Opponent plays a Wood of Foothills. Cracks it for a Stomping Ground. Yep, untapped. Plays out a Pelt Collector. Okay. Passes to us. Another Aether Vial is the opposite of everything I ever wanted. Yeah, Moorland Haunt. Run out the Aether Vial. Pass it there. Opponent plays a Blood Crypt. Untap for a Goblin Guide. Okay, so we're against a Zoo deck, I suppose. Death Shadow Zoo, maybe. And a Vexing Devil. Alright, well, I think we're going to pay 4 life for the Vexing Devil. Oh no, that pumps up the Pelt Collector too. Oh dear, dear, dear. I hate this so much. So Pelt Collector is going to be a 4/4. But if we don't do that, they're going to have a 3/3 and a 4/4. So I think, yeah, we have to pay the 4. Yep, opponent swings in for 6. Goblin Guide. Path to Exile on top of our library. Neat. Well, that can deal with a Pelt Collector quite nicely. All right, our turn. Tick up our Vial, play our Waterlogged Grove, run out our second Vial. All right, and we'll just pass it there, planning on vialing in the Noble Hierarch. We're already down to 10. Gee whiz. Yep, opponent swings in, Goblin Guide reveals. A Flooded Strand, eh? So that's the land for Coco. All right, and we're dead. All right, well, we have to hope that's our opponent's best draw. We don't really... Oh, dear. All we've really got is the core Firewalkers. Oh, dear. Dear, dear, dear. All right, well, we'll bring in the core Firewalkers. Yeah, we're just going to go down Aether Vial. It's too slow. Yes, I would like to play first. Yeah, we can keep this hand. We'll lead on a Windswept Heath. Pass it there. Oh, we could have played the Mausoleum Wanderer. I'm a bit silly. Yep, opponent plays a Stomping Ground. Leads on the Pelt Collector. Sure thing. Well, we're going to crack our Windswept Heath for a Temple Garden. We would not like to pay 2 life. Draw a Hallowed Fountain, eh? Well, we'll play a Seachrome Coast, and we'll just run out the core Firewalker and pass it there. Yep, opponent plays a Blood Crypt, untap, casts a Goblin Guide, we gain a life, gets a counter on their Pelt Collector, and swings in for 2. So we take 2. Down to 18. Pass to us, alright. Collected Company, hey? Alright, Collected Company is very good. We're going to play a Hallowed Fountain, and we are actually going to pay life for it, and then we're going to run out our Unsettled Mariner and our Mausoleum Wanderer. We're just going to pass it there. Hopefully Collected Company next turn gets us back into this. Alright, your move, opponent. Lightning Bolt, hey? Did you not read Unsettled Mariner? I guess not. Got him. Thanks for the life, opponent. Opponent plays a Bloodstained Mire, cracks it, gets a Mountain. Lightning Skelemental. Okay, yep, we'll use core Firewalker's ability, gain some life. They get a counter on their Pelt Collector. All right, now they're swinging in. Well, we're going to block the Skelemental. Not that it does much, but okay. Yep, Skelemental's ability triggers. Pelt Collector's ability triggers. We have to discard 2, hey? Do we have to keep the path and ditch the company? I really don't want to do that. We might actually have to do that. Top deck a land. I'm gonna take the risky play, keep the Collected Company. Come on, land. That is a land. I should have asked more specifically for one that comes in untapped. All right, well, we're going to get in with our Mausoleum Wanderer. Opponent takes it down to 13. No more Skelementals, please. All right, opponent plays a Vexing Devil. We'll gain a life off that. Now, do we want to take 4 off it, or do we want to wait? So if we take 4, we go down to 8. Then we take 4 from Pelt Collector. We go down to... Yeah, so we have to keep it on the battlefield. Yeah. Oh, no. All right, cool. Misread that one. We take the 4 anyway. Great, great, great. What a fantastic league this is chalked up to be. All right, well, they're going to swing with the Pelt Collector. That's cool. No blocks from us. Down to 4. All right, and they pass. We're going to get a Coco. All right, well, we're going to just pass it. Keep everything back. This is the turn. Yep, opponent plays out a Bloodstained Mire. Cracks it. Gets a Swamp. Goes to combat and swings with both. Okay, well, we'll let Goblin Guide's trigger resolve. Supreme Phantom on top of our library. Okay. Well, then we will cast our Collected Company. Yeah, it's Supreme Phantom. Is it Drogskull Captain? Yeah, I think it's Drogskull Captain. All right, go to blockers. Unsettled Mariner in front of Goblin Guide, is it? Yeah, and then Mausoleum Wanderer in front of the Pelt Collector. All right, and they scoop it up. Lovely. All right, I think we need Knight of Autumn. Anything else? Geist of St. Traft feels pretty bad in this matchup. Let's go down a Rattle Chains or a Kira. Rest in Peace does stop Pelt Collector, but I don't think that's where we want to be. Yeah, submit. Try and keep the dead draws to a minimum. All right, so risking on that Coco paid off. This hand is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. We're going to keep. Opponent plays a Copperline Gorge into the Pelt Collector, but they mulliganed to get it. Come on, 1-drop. Nope, not a 1-drop, but still could pay off. Well, Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn there. Yep. Wooded Foothills. They crack it. Get a Blood Crypt. Untapped. Burning Tree Emissary. Oh dear, we might be in trouble. Yep. Puts a counter on the Pelt Collector. Into a Burning Tree Emissary. Ugh. Do they have the God draw? It's a Bushwhacker. A Tarka's Command. So pretty gross, but not quite a Bushwhacker. Yep, so they get in for 3. Down to 14 already. Okay. Core Firewalker that we cannot quite cast. Well, it's got to be Waterlogged Grove. And yeah, it's got to be Unsettled Mariner in this case. Pass it there. Hopefully we can start countering things with these Spell Quellers next turn. They play another Copperline Gorge. Lightning Skelemental. Gross. We are pretty close to dead here. All right, well, we're going to block a Burning Tree, I guess. Yep, Lightning Skelemental goes off. We have to discard 2 cards. Well, we can't cast Core Firewalker. We can't cast Spell Queller. Can only cast one of those next turn. All right, now we're facing down a big pelt collector that we're probably not going to be able to beat. Yeah, damn, that's the game, I think. Unfortunate, yeah, even if we play one of these and block, they're still getting in with the other one we're on in too. All right, GG. Alrighty, so that's the end of that league. Glad that's over. So what did we think of Leyline of the Cat Spirit deck? I'm sure the deck itself is fine. I just don't think it's fast enough for this format, and it does not pair up very well against Jund, which we versed 3 times. So the issues we had with this deck are it does not do well when your opponent can remove every threat. What this deck needs to do to win is to get multiple creatures out that then start working with each other. If you're versing a deck like Jund, they just 1-for-1 removal all your creatures. You can't get a good board up against them. This deck can set up a pretty good board for blockers, but things like Burn, once we stabilized against Burn didn't care. They had, by the time we stabilized against them to block their creatures effectively, they were just able to bolt us over the top. What did I like about the deck? It's pretty colors, I guess. I don't know. I was hoping for a better result than that, and that was a real kick in the pants, wasn't it? All right, well, maybe I should just take my own advice and thank you all for watching, and until next time, have fun.